Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Today is one of those days where I was on GoodReads, obviously, and I saw that the Choice Awards for 2022 were up, and I wanted to do a video on my reaction to specific categories. So you know I'm a romance, I'm a thriller, I'm a horror lover, and I wanted to go over those categories with you to see which books I've read, which books I've enjoyed, if I need to read some more, because you know, why not, you know? Anyways, so we are going to go over this today. I'm just going to do it on my phone. I'm going to do a screen grab. I'm going to scoop myself over here, so my screen grab will be right here, and we're just going to go ahead and get to it. I am really excited this year because I have done a lot more reading of thriller and horror. So yeah, anyways, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and get to the mystery and thriller category for this. We have the Book of Cold Cases. That is actually one of the books that I have been anticipating all year. I just haven't gotten to it. The Violin Conspiracy, never heard of it. Things We Do in the Dark, it's actually on my shelf to read. Like a lot of other ones. A Flicker in the Dark, that was my favorite book of last year. I read it early, and that was actually my favorite book of 2021. Yeah, 2021. So I really like that book. The Family Game, I have that book on my list. The Overnight Guest was a really good book. I read that, and then I believe I gave it 4.5 or 5 stars. That was actually a really, really good book. If you have not read that, you should read it. The Family Remains, that is number 2 in a series. That's one thing that I don't really like about the GoodReads Choice Awards, is when they put series in it. Like, I don't really like that about it, but anyways. The Golden Couple, I've heard of that one. I've heard that's actually pretty good. The It Girl, I started to read that for the Literary Dead Book Club, because it was one of their the picks for that book club, but I stopped reading it because I wasn't really interested in it. I need to mute this right quick because I know that it's about to start and it's going to scare me. There we go. Okay, muted my computer. All the Good People Are Here, that's actually on my list to read. The Housemaid, I've never heard of that book, but it looks interesting. The Bullet That Missed, that's another one on a series. The Wrong Place, Wrong Time, I've heard of that one. The Night Shift, it was on my most anticipated for 2022, so I need to get to that. More Than You'll Ever Know, never heard of it. Probably will look into it though. The Maid, read that, I gave it 3 stars. Jackal is actually on my list as well to read. The Paris Apartment, read that, I enjoyed it. Certain Age of Killing, have that on my bookshelf. And lastly is Daisy Darker, which I have on my bookshelf. So those are some that I have on my bookshelf that I've been anticipating and that I hope to get to before the year is over. But it is November 16th, so we will see. Alright, I'm going to stop my screen recording right quick, and I'm going to go to the horror. Oh, no, I'm going to go to the... No, don't look, don't look. I pressed it before. Okay, we're going to go to the romance category. I'm interested to see what's going to be on the romance because I haven't really, like, the romance this year that I've read haven't been my absolute favorite. There's been one that's been my favorite, How to Fake It in Hollywood, because I gave that 5 stars. I really love that book. But I haven't, there's been some hits and misses for romance for me. I haven't really been like, boop, you know. Twisted Hate, heard of it, not really interested in reading it. The American Roommate Experiment, I'm actually considering reading that very, very soon. The Bodyguard, I have that on my bookshelf. Thank You for Listening, I've never heard of it, but we'll look into it. Book Lovers, have that on my bookshelf. It's also on my list for most anticipated for 2022. You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty. Oh, that's, when did they write that? Okay, MZ wrote that. I have I didn't realize that they had written that. So, yes, I love Awake AMZ on my, oof, yes. Part of Your World, I probably will not read that. Electric Idol, I have the first one on my bookshelf that I still haven't gotten to, like Electric Gods, is that what it's called? Neon Gods. And I put Electric Idol on my most anticipated for 2022 because I anticipated on reading Neon Gods, but I haven't gotten to it yet. Love on the Brain, that's also a book that I have on my bookshelf that I haven't gotten to yet. Things We Never Got Over, I really want to read this one, but I don't know if I'll get to it this year. It Starts With Us, not interested. Delilah Green Doesn't Care, that's on my bookshelf right now. That's one of in my top 20, or my top books for 2022. Or most anticipated, not top books, but most anticipated. The Kiss Curse, that's the second book in a series. I'm assuming, because a lot of romance series are books that you can read out of order. So Every Summer After, I've heard that that's a really, really good book. Hook, Line, and Sinker, that's the second book in a series. The Wedding Crasher, also on my bookshelf, also on my list for the most anticipated books of 2022. Dating Dr. Deal, I have that on my bookshelf right now. Terms and Conditions, that I believe is the second book in, where's that book at? What is that book called? I have it over here somewhere, but I don't remember what it's called. But is it Fine Print? The Fine Print? Something like that? Reminders of Him, Colleen Hoover has 2 books on here. And Funny You Should Ask. It's not like I don't like Colleen Hoover books. I think I've outgrown them. I don't know. I'm just not interested. Funny You Should Ask. Heard that is an okay book. But, so, Colleen Hoover is on here twice. But there are some actually pretty good picks on here. I figured Emily Henry and Katie Robert would be on here, to be completely honest. But I'm liking the romance selection for this. It looks a lot better than it has in previous years. Okay, now moving on to the horror section. I'm very excited about this horror section. The Hacienda, have that on my bookshelf, and it's on my most anticipated for 2022. White Horse, never heard of it. The Violence, okay, never heard of it, but interested. The Cherry Robbers, never heard of that either. Hidden Pictures, I've actually been looking for this book on like discounted books, but I don't think it's ever going to get discounted because it's brand new. Well, it will be discounted, but you know, I've heard really good things about it though. Our Wives Under the Water, or no, Our Wives Under the Sea, never heard of it. The Devil Takes You Home, I just recently heard of that this previous week, so I haven't really got to look into it, but We Spread, I've heard really good things about that. The Fervor, however you say that word. That's a hard word for me. Never heard of that either. Gallows Hill. Ooh, it's by Darcy Coates. Darcy Coates? What? I missed a Darcy Coates release? I love Darcy Coates. She's one of my fave horror books. Or horror novels. Hunted is my absolute favorite by her. Small Angels. Never heard of that. Juniper and Thorn, never heard of that. House of Hunger, I was supposed to have read that for November, but I don't think I'm going to get to it. The Children of the Hill, I read that, and I gave it 4 stars, 4.5 stars, something like that. It's pretty good. Well, it's better than pretty good. It's good. It's a good book. Wendy's Final Task, it's by Stephen King. Figured that a Stephen King would be on here. Probably won't read it. What Moves the Dead, I gave that 4 stars. It was very good. Sundial, I have been wanting to read this book, but I've heard it's like more fantasy than horror, so I don't know. Manhunt, interested in that, just like Mother, me. Such Sharp Teeth. I thought that I had read this book, And I was really confused when I went on to GoodReads and I was like, I read this book. Like, I read it, but I read The Smile. There's such a sweet smile. Not such sharp teeth. But anyways, I am liking these. Like, I'm not mad. I anticipated Colleen Hoover, of course, being on there. I also anticipated for Stephen King to be on there a lot more, but he only had one book on there. So maybe people are starting to realize, like, or Goodreads is starting to realize, like, put books on there that people are going to read, you know? But, well, people are going to read these books anyways. You know what I'm saying. My computer went off. That's why my face went darker. But, so I'm not mad at these. And I'm only going to go over these 3 sections because these are the sections that I read the most. And I don't have very good knowledge of the other categories. So that is my reaction to these. I'm not as mad as I thought that I was going to be, which I don't think I would have been mad anyways, because whatever. But I am planning on reading the final books that come out before, like, the final book is, like, the next round books. I am planning on reading those. So watch out for that video, because it's coming eventually. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of the Goodreads choice for 2022. And let me know if you plan on reading any of these books as well. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye!